Well, got a little update today. As you can see, my mower's still broke. Can't get my welder to work, which is not unusual. It seems like if it ain't one thing, it's another, of course. So, I finally got the reply back from the plaintiff, or the defendant, and they want to blame me actually as part of the reason why the concrete isn't good. I'm not sure how that's my fault, but their attorney seems to take a little bit of truth and run with it, and about 99% of what he says is not truthful. First one of the things they said is I told them 3 inches of concrete, and then they went in, and then I changed my mind to 6. Well, I don't think that's the case, since how I wanted 4 inches of screenings that I bought, 92 tons, 4 inches of screenings compacted, and then 2 inches of insulation there on top of that, and then 6 inches of concrete. Of course, everyone knows if you're going to put a lift in, you need at least 5 inches, so I wanted 6 inches for the garage and everything, and they're building a house, so yeah, I want 6 inches. And if that weren't the case, I guess you were just so nice you threw in the other 3 inches or double the material cost. That just doesn't make sense. So it's all bullshit, and they know it. But anyway, this is what it looks like today. They also said there's no construction defect. There's nothing wrong with this, and it can be used. I'm not quite sure what to use it for, because as I told him when I hired him, the concrete is going to be the floor. There's no floor coverings going in on this. This is a barn dominium, and the concrete is going to be polished. And as you can see, with all of these cracks going on, that's probably not going to work. No, I know it's not going to work. They know it's not going to work. They know what the problems are. They are just trying to deflect because probably their insurance company denied their claim for poor workmanship and for construction defect, which I'm ready to go to court over, because I'm going to sue them for everything I can get, because they've pissed me off more than I can even say. And for some reason, that one is open there. I don't think that was open before, but I'm not sure. It doesn't matter anyway. But as you can see, these cracks, I like it after it rains, because the cracks show up even better. But they are numerous and unable to use this slab. So we'll be going to court, I'm sure, because they asked for if I would go to mediation, and there is no way in hell I'm going to mediation. That would kind of allude that I was at fault somehow, and there's no fault here. Basically what they did, and I told you this before probably, was the screenings that I bought, they just spread on top of the ground. They didn't compact anything. Nothing was compacted. So they threw that on top of the ground. The wind was blowing 45 mile an hour out here the day that they threw this concrete down. But the thing is when they put it down, they put that screenings down, then they just threw, and when I say threw, I mean they just threw my insulation on top of that, and they poked these spikes in it to hold it down, because the wind was blowing so hard they couldn't hold it there. Well, that insulation's supposed to be a barrier. So it's, the cracks are supposed to be taped, and it's supposed to be one solid deal once it's done. And then we put the plastic over that and the rebar. Well, they didn't even use rebar. The only rebar they used was in the footings. The rest of it is just screen mesh, which you don't use on this either. So then they poured it, and as they're pouring it and the wind is blowing, it's drying. So it dried before they could even get the anchor bolts in this end, which their lawyer also said that I agreed to put the anchor bolts in. Well, I don't see how I could do that since I didn't do the concrete. So no, I didn't agree to that either. But it goes on, and then they had the audacity to send a bill for the other half, like I'm going to pay them $20,000. I'm not paying them another dime. Matter of fact, I'm going to collect well more than $20,000 for this, seeing how I've got 33 in it already, and it's not worth anything. So I told the attorney, I said, go for it. Go for everything they've got. I want to sue him for everything he has. Of course, you know, we can't do that, but we'll sue for everything that we're entitled to. And hopefully things will turn out all right. But, you know, my blood pressure is not good for this. And so I had to come out here today. Tried to do a little welding, but I think it was too hot and the welder kept shutting off or something. It's a brand new welder and I couldn't get it to work. So that's par for the course. So I did a little mowing anyway without the wheel on there, just to knock some of it down. But as you can see, it grows up pretty quick, and it just rained last night a little bit. So it's going to be growing. And so I need to get that welded on there, but I'm just not quite sure how I'm going to do that unless I can get this welder to start working, which I just bought. That was the first time to use it, and I put one tack weld down and it wouldn't weld anymore. So anyway, I know you don't want to hear me just jabbering on, so that's my update for this week. See ya.